They told us nuclear weapons end wars. They said the devastation was immediate, and then it was over. But that's not the whole story. The truth? Nukes are far deadlier than you've been led to believe, and someone wanted it that way. When Hiroshima was bombed in 1945, official estimates said 140,000 died by the end of the year. But in reality, thousands more suffered for decades, not from the blast, but from fallout, radiation sickness, and genetic mutations passed to their children and grandchildren. Here's what most people don't know. After the war, the US government suppressed medical data, especially the effects on kids born after the bomb. Documents declassified in the 1990s showed they intentionally downplayed radiation effects to keep moral and political control. They didn't want the world to see what a nuclear weapon really does over the course of a lifetime. From 1951 to 1992, the US tested over 1,000 nuclear weapons. In the 1950s, they did above-ground detonations. In the US, soldiers were ordered to march toward mushroom clouds. Kids in Utah played in radioactive snow. Atomic tourism was a thing. People literally watched nuclear tests from hotel rooftops in Las Vegas. And when leukemia cases spiked in downwind communities, the government called it coincidence. Internal memos later revealed they expected casualties, yet kept testing anyway, to observe the effects of fallout on human populations. That wasn't a mistake, that was a human experiment. Ever heard of Operation Sunflower? No? Because it was classified. In 1962, the US tested high-altitude nukes over the Pacific. The plan? Weaponize the Earth's magnetic field. The Starfish Prime detonation created an artificial radiation belt that disabled satellites and fried electronics over 1,400 kilometers away. What the government didn't reveal, this artificial belt lasted over a decade and damaged more systems than they anticipated. The long-term effects on the ionosphere? Still unclear, but communication blackouts and climate anomalies followed. Some experts believe we're still feeling the aftershocks today, in satellite instability and unusual global weather. But not all nukes explode. Enter radiological dispersal devices, dirty bombs. The US, Russia, and others developed silent weapons that spread lethal radiation without the flash or bang. What if I told you some were actually deployed during conflicts, but blamed on mysterious illnesses? Gulf War syndrome, for example, saw thousands of US troops suffer fatigue, cancers, and neurological damage. Whistleblowers claimed exposure to uranium-based weapons was to blame, but were dismissed as conspiracy theorists. And yet, the VA quietly increased compensation for radiation-related illnesses, without ever admitting the cause. Most people think a nuke only flies if the president says so, but that's not true. During the Cold War, the US and USSR built dead-hand systems, automatic retaliation networks that launch nukes if command structures go down. Think Skynet? Only real. According to former Soviet officials, Russia's system, Perimeter, is still active today. If Moscow's command goes dark, it launches nukes automatically. Meaning, if the wrong cable's cut, or a false alarm hits the system, or a hacker spoofs a threat, humanity could end itself in minutes, and that's by design. They told us nukes were deterrents. They told us the horror was in the explosion. But the real terror is in what they never told us. The cancers, the birth defects, the lies, the cover-ups, the experiments, the ticking system still waiting in silence. We live in a world built on the assumption that no one will ever press the button. But what if the button doesn't even need pressing anymore? The danger is not what you see, it's what they don't let you see. What do you think? Hit the subscribe button and share the video.